I'm going to try and do the poem tonight without looking at the book. Emma is going to be my assistant.
Hello.
She has a copy of the poem because I have a tendency to skip ahead or to lose a piece, and I want to do the whole poem. So if I flub up, she'll stop me and say, no, you want to say this. But I also always like to point out, this is one of the little things you can learn if you read about the poem. We all know Donner and Blitzen, but Clement Moore or Henry Livingstone, whoever wrote this poem, named all the reindeer, which I think is really great. And in the very first published version, Donner and Blitzen were called Dunder and Blixen, which in German is thunder and lightning. So, just something to, another thing to grab onto as you go through the poem. All right. I also, because I've been reading the poem this weekend with the Pittsburgh Symphony, and I've been trying to get it into my head. The hardest part, I think the weirdest, most poetic part of the poem is more fun if you try to figure it out. And that is, there's a place where it goes, as dry leaves before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. And so what that really means, I think, is like leaves that are blown before a big wind, when they hit a wall, when they meet an obstacle, they go up. That's what that line means. So Santa is saying, you know, dash away all. Then as leaves go, the reindeer come up to the house, and so up to the housetop, his coursers they flew. Okay? Ready, Emma?
I am ready.
Okay. Here we go. Emma will stop me, and if anybody in the crowd knows why she stopped me, we'll let you say it before she tells us, okay? Here we go. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there occurred such a clatter.
Whoa. Arose, such a clatter.
Oh, no, you don't let me fly on those. She said, arose such a clatter.
You said!
No, I want you to be lenient with me.
Okay, all right. Carry on.
And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer und Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Dunder and Blixen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away all. As wild leaves before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetop his coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. Then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. And as I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. And his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had slung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up in a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. And I laughed in spite of myself.
You're so
wait,
close.
I know I'm so close. I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a turn of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."